Hey guys, this is Sebastian Guerra and welcome to Guerra Financial Tips. Today we're going to be going over how much money you should have in your bank account. We see today in the United States, there's over $10 trillion sitting inside checking accounts, savings accounts, money market accounts, pretty much all across the country. And the average bank is paying its customer, hear this out, 0.57% per year on the money sitting inside their bank account. This means that they're making over 20 times that amount on that same dollar. What a lot of people don't know about is that the banks are literally using your funds to lend it out to other people to go buy cars, credit cards at 10, 15, 20% in interest. The interesting thing is that many people say things like, well, I want to have my money in my bank account just in case I need it. But the question is not whether you should have money in your bank account, but more how much money should you have in your bank account? This morning, I ended up meeting with a family that had almost $1 million sitting between retirement accounts and some money in savings accounts. But out of the $1 million, almost $800,000 of that million was sitting inside a savings account at their bank. Now, when I asked them why they had so much money sitting inside the bank, they just said they wanted to have it there just in case they needed it, and they can use it pretty much whenever they want. Then I asked them how long had the money been sitting there, and they told me that it had been sitting there over the last 4 years. You see, their objective was that they wanted to have the money there to eventually be able to buy a property. But over the last 4 years, property had increased by over 75% and the S&P 500 had increased by over 100% during the exact same time period. You see, this is the part that people miss. They sit with money in their bank account, waiting and waiting and waiting to see if an opportunity presents itself. But while they're waiting, they're missing out on the traditional investments increasing in value. You see, statistically speaking, 75% of the time, the stock market is going to go up, and 90% of the time, the real estate market goes up. So what people are trying to do is that they're trying to time when to invest their funds rather than just taking the guessing game out of it and stay invested for the long haul. This is why it is extremely important that we are all very conscious on how much money we have in our bank account doing practically nothing. Your bank account should only carry your emergency fund and anything you know with 100% certainty that you're going to need it over the next 6 to 12 months. Everything else should always stay invested. This is why you hear stories of banks getting wealthier and wealthier over time, and your money in your bank is barely growing by a few dollars every single month. If this is you and you currently have an excess amount sitting in your bank account, remember that inflation is something that is slowly destroying your wealth over time, and your money in the bank does not even outpace inflation. If you don't know what to do, I highly advise you to reach out to a few advisory firms in your neighborhood and go through an initial interview process with them. You'd be surprised how much harder your money can be working for you. Take care.